Hey Juventini, welcome back to the AJC. It's May 20th. I'm Alberto. I've got all this morning's news surfacing around Juventus, and it is a wild one out there this morning. All right, we have contradictions in the headlines left, right, and center. Players disgruntled with Max Allegri. Max Allegri's position is firm. Max Allegri's position is in question. Giuntoli is the missing puzzle piece. Giuntoli, there are doubts about him coming to Juventus. Everything is going in circles this morning. We're going to tackle it all, right? So like the video, subscribe to the channel, and now let's rock. More rumors surface about players being disgruntled with Max, all right? Especially after the defeat to Sevilla in the second leg of the semifinal in Europa League. We also heard players like Cuadrado and Wojciech Szczesny raising some questions about whether or not the players still believe in Max and the approach and the style that they play or whatnot, all right? So usually where there's a lot of smoke, there's some fire, but we're going to wait for this one until some more personalities and maybe some of the big dogs weigh in on what's going on behind the scenes, all right? But the rumors today state that there's friction between Calvo and Allegri, and this goes into just before the semifinal against Sevilla, where Calvo apparently tried to finalize everything with Giuntoli, and Max Allegri took exception to this because he was not in the know. And according to Elkan, which had given him say and power in decisions being made, this upset Max Allegri. All right, now the rumors continue stating that Max Allegri's position is not in doubt. He is firm. There's going to be a full revolution at Juventus, and players like Vlahovic and Chiesa are no longer seen as untouchable from Juve's end, and if offers come in, they could be sold. Now, we're going to break this thing down right now and just go through this. So, the rumor about friction between Calvo and Allegri also states that Calvo was upset in terms of us not getting the Europa League final, and he also has doubts about Max Allegri, the approach and everything and whatnot. Okay, now let's start with the first one. Calvo trying to finalize things with Giuntoli, okay? We have known for a while now that there was contacts and there was discussions and that everything was laid on the table for Giuntoli. So all of a sudden now, just before the semifinal, we have reached out again to try and finalize things when everyone has known for the longest time Giuntoli has another year of contract at Napoli. Unless that is broken, nothing is going to happen and nothing else matters. So if they've already laid everything on the table with Giuntoli, this leads me to believe that this headline is nothing but garbage, trying to spark more chaos around Juventus and for Juventini, all right? So I'm not buying into this one, all right? In terms of Calvo being upset about the elimination, of course, who involved in events would not be upset about the elimination, the financial implications, the financial losses, and not a shot at a trophy, yet another trophyless season. Of course, they're going to be upset. Faith in Max Allegri. Max Allegri will be assessed. This is something that's been stated a while ago, that everything and everyone was going to be assessed. All right? Max Allegri included. I truly do believe that. Now we get to the next line of rumors, which is that Allegri's position is firm. He is solidified. Vlahovic and Chiesa no longer seen as untouchable. This is from Gazzetta as well. Gazzetta will do everything in their power when things are down at Juventus to try and create chaos. Chaos around Juventus. Gazzetta loves that, and they love to fuel the fire. I'm not buying into this one. I believe everyone is under evaluation. It starts with Juventus figuring out a management team, all right? But Max, I think he's far from safe. And as I stated on the last post-match podcast, I think everything is going to be assessed, but watch for the players. Watch for the players, because now towards the end of the season, they're starting to let a little bit more be known in terms of their interviews. And we saw it with Wojciech Szczesny, and we saw it with Juan Cuadrado, all right? So just take their words and that'll start giving us more insight into what's going on behind the scenes. And we will wait to see if certain players turn in their transfer requests, all right? But Vlahovic and Chiesa, I would not buy into any of that just yet, okay? Giuntoli. The rumors about Giuntoli, there's a rumor surfacing that not everyone at Juventus believes he is the piece. And then you have another contradicting headline immediately after that stating that Giuntoli is seen as the missing puzzle piece and Juventus is doing everything in their power to try and bring him in. Giuntoli, I believe Juventus, and we've heard this and from the big dogs, that Juventus is going in on Giuntoli. It literally comes down to if he can break the contract with Napoli and if De Laurentiis will allow him to leave. And right now, Napoli, if you look at them, things are a mess. I mean, Spalletti just came in stating that there's obviously things that need to be cleared up by De Laurentiis about him wanting to stay and whatnot, but the Korean monster might be leaving to Manchester United, and now all of a sudden they're going to lose Giuntoli. It's a mess going on right there. It'll be interesting to see what De Laurentiis does, but knowing that Giuntoli, if he tried to break contract or wanted to figure things out at Napoli, you would have to think De Laurentiis would take consideration into the fact that it's Juventus he wants to go to. So very, very interesting. We'll have to wait and see. And obviously it's going to be followed the whole way through. Di Maria and Rabiot, their contract renewals are still up in the air. Rabiot is stated today to be extremely unlikely for him to remain, even Di Maria. But there is a small chance for Di Maria to renew with Juventus. If there is a coaching change, Tudor has been named as the first name as a replacement. I like this one. I really, really do. I know there are many Juventini that are against this move. For me, he is not the flashiest, okay? He is not the most attacking coach or whatnot, but he's balanced. He's balanced and he's a no-nonsense individual. And one of the issues at Juventus for me is that we need to reestablish the culture. But as I stated on the last post-match podcast, it starts at the top. You have to establish that culture at the top. So you need to bring in a sporting director, form a management team. They need to have a vision. They need to know what their identity wants and then bring in the characters accordingly. And that goes from coach to players or whatnot. But Tudor would fit the mold, being a no-nonsense individual. We need to stop making this club a vacation for players that are prone to injury and whatnot. Club Med, high bloated wages to these players that aren't matching up in production. We need to figure out our business model. Start at the top, get the culture, get the right guys, and then go down the line. I see Tudor as being our next Conte in terms of what Conte was to Juventus 2011-12, all right? I see Tudor as being that guy. He can be the guy that helps reestablish the identity, the culture at Juventus that we want, that we have always loved, and then someone come in later on down the road and potentially enhance it, all right? But you guys know the drill. Let me know what you think. Last, certainly not least, Fagioli has undergone surgery on the collarbone that he broke in the game to Sevilla. He is going to have a 2-month recovery period. That will take him out of the U.S. tour, all right? So that does it. You know the drill. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, drop all your comments, questions, thoughts, and opinions on everything you heard in today's news video. I'll be back tomorrow with another, and I'll probably be lakeside. Fino alla fine, forza Juve. Ciao tutti. Enjoy your weekends.